This is Lance, and I'm back with a new video. And if you like what the content I'm giving out right now, or putting out I should say, if you like it, please comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps my channel. So we have this 08 Rav4 we're doing. Old school, so 07, 08, Toyota Rav4. Customer reached out. Well, actually, it's into that. Customer was a previous customer. This is his daily driver. So he decided he wanted to go with a nice system in this daily driver. So there's some work we got to do. We have to fix some A-pillars. As you can see, the A-pillars are a little jacked up. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say the clips are busted, so they're just old. We're going to pull these door panels apart. We're going to obviously take apart everything in this car for the JBL package. And we're obviously getting rid of all JBL equipment. And we're going to do some cool stuff. We're going to do some audio frog. So we got some audio frog GS62 components and coaxials. Let's just say coaxials. Then we got the driver GB60s. We have a GB15 driver here, a tweeter here. And you say, what's the Alpine amp for? So we're going to take this M Six DSP. We're going to bridge that. We're going to run the tweeters and the mid bass off this. We're going to bridge 2 channels. Make it as 4 channel. It's a 6 channel amp. We're going to take this ARC, which is a monoblock X2 650.1. We're going to run that to the Helix KE10E K10E.2 10-inch ported sub box. And so what we're probably going to do, and I kind of pulled the amps out already, and we're probably going to put them in there. Instead of pulling the seats out and put everything in there, because I think the JBL amp's under there because it's not on the seat, we're going to pull this whole center section apart here, pull these back quarters out, and we're going to run all new wires, everything back here. Some of the wires are back here already, but we're going to pull this rear section apart and find out what we have going on. We might even pull the back seats. I'm not sure yet. So stay tuned. We're going to pull some stuff apart and go from there. So as you can see, we pulled about this back panel. We got this whole quarter panel back apart. There is the JBL fucking amplifier at. So now we got to pull apart the fronts. We got to do doors still. We still got to determine whether we're going to run wires for that or grab it off the factory harness. But I'm not sure at this point. We're going to figure it out and go from there. If the wires are there, then we're probably going to wind up doing it there and pull that amp and make another bracket and then put the Alpine there and then run the other amp. So we'll find out one way or the other. So stay tuned. So we're back on the Rav4 working on that, and this is what the door panels looks like. So we took off the passenger and driver's door panel. We already did some sound deadening on that side. We already did that. We just have to make trim panels for this, and I'm gonna get all the sound deadening done on all the cars. So obviously you can see I took all this apart, and they put a little bit of sound deadening here, and it's okay. And then you can see this side, it's pretty pretty non-sound deadened, as you can tell. But I've already gone as far as to do this door back here, which is the passenger left. That door is solid, and then this one here, done pretty well. So yeah, we literally have used which is interesting. I got these from Morel. These are Morel sound deadening treatment. I mean the rings, and they look pretty good. So I got to put I got to put the Audio Frog tweeter here, which will fit. It's actually pretty size, so I got to make a trim that goes here. But let's get to that sound deadening on that door and get it there. Which is funny because I have to drill the JBL speaker out because it's physically riveted in. And then what I'll do is I'll take those riv outs, drill them out with a unibit, and then what I'll do is I'll take a 6mm bolt, which I don't have here, and just thread it right in there, and it'll lock in place with the pieces in there. So let's get the sound deadening done on this door, and we got the rear door to do, and I'll take it all apart and show you. So stay tuned for the next side. So as you can see, we got the speaker grill put on, the speaker mount, I should not mount it, speaker mounted, ran a new wire because this is going complete active. The reason why I did it that way is these two wires for the tweeter and the driver and the door are tied together. So the problem would be if we didn't run the wire and we did everything, we'd be surprised later on, but I'm willing to bet these are tied together. I also tested it to be sure, to make sure. So I'm gonna have another wire here for this speaker here, because like I said, we're gonna put the audio frog tweeter, which is the GB16, I think it is, in here, and it's gonna turn out really nice. So cars, this is back together. We gotta go to the back door. Good thing is we don't have to run any wires for that, but we still have to pull the radio, and we still gotta run all wires for everything in the car. So back door is next. A little bit of sound editing go for that too as well, and then we can start putting this thing back together towards the end. So we move along to the wiring. You can see we ran brand new wires from front to back. This is a 4-gauge ran from the battery. Turned out really nice. And we finally ended up mounting the small little Alpine amp in the back rear quarter panel. Turned out great. So let's wrap up the Toyota Rav4. So I pulled the radio out, and I ultimately had to clean up all the wiring. Only reason I did that is because it just looked bad. So I'm not gonna leave it in disaster. In the process, we also pulled out the side silver pieces that are mounted next to it. Here, we pulled those out. We ordered new ones for the customer. They weren't that expensive. We also took care of the A-pillars. That's all repaired. So in this system here, we use the Helix M Six DSP, which is a 6-channel DSP amplifier with 4 channels of an output. So we took the Audio Frog's GB15 tweeters, and we ran two channels off that, and then we bridged 2 channels and ran the 2 door speakers off that, off each of those channels. And then we took a Alpine, I call it pocket amp. It's built to go behind the radio. We mounted that in the back rear quarter panel, and we bridged that, and we ran that to the rear door speakers, which are the GS63s, I think, the GS series. I'll put the right ones down. The door speakers were GB60s. And then we did the Helix sub, which I was kind of questioning if that was going to sound good, and those things actually sound really, really good. I'll put a model number of what that actual sub is. It's just a downfiring 10-inch sub, nice sounding sub. And the customer bought the ARC. So the amp is the ARC S2 650.1 or 0.2, which is a monoblock, and we ran that at 1 ohm to that sub. And I was like, okay, well, the sub turned out really nice, so we're in good condition. So here's what it looks like. We also did the conductor, and there's 2 different conductors, which I just failed to realize that when we were doing the system. And the right conductor we needed, I had to go get, but that was not a big deal. We just got the right conductor. The customer has another one for it if he wants to do something with it, or even the case doesn't matter. We located the conductor here, and the way we set this one up is we did hit so he could turn down his rear speakers from the conductor and do sub control. We're going to do the amps under the seat, but I noticed that this compartment was here under the back, so we ran everything back under here to clean up all the wiring. We put the Helix box in here, and all this stuff gets covered up. You wouldn't even know this guy had a system in this car when we're all said and done. So ultimately it turned out really nice. It actually banged really nice. It actually has good detail. We did a lot of equalization. I had a lot of help from a couple of guys as far as the Helix setup. There was things about the Helix DSP software that I didn't know that I got some help with. I called my buddy Jeff Smith, and he kind of walked me through it and kind of handshaked a couple things on it to give me a good way of setting up the DSP. Then I EQ'd it, and it sounds phenomenal. So I think this is one of the better sounding cars for such an older car. Like I said, this is a 2008 Toyota Rav4, and it has one of the nicest systems for a car this old that I've done in a long time, because most people want to get new cars, but this car actually sounds really good. We did sound editing, we did rings from Morel, we did a lot of cool stuff. This car is nice. So Like I said, it turned out really nice. It's a RAV4, nice setup. Can't see anything when we're done. It's awesome. Stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.